When my husband died in the forest, my son was 6 years and 7 months old, and my daughter was 8 years old.
If tiger attacks you, try to make eye contact with the tiger, then the tiger steps back and don't attack.
The crypto broker platform is all about reaching remote corners of the world, where the governments haven't reached, where the nonprofits haven't reached, the corners of the world where we have truly forgotten children who are in true need. And that's what the PayBito crypto broker program aims to reach. As you see here, we are today in the midst of feeding about a couple of hundred kids here. The idea of the crypto broker platform and the sustainable development that PayBito is bringing comes from the fact that every broker on our platform contributes to this movement that you see today. The movement is called a dollar for a dollar, which means every dollar a broker makes on the platform, PayBito contributes $1 to the cause of eradicating hunger. That's our goal.
The islands of Sundarbans have been battered by 4 major cyclones since 2019, leaving a trail of destruction. The aftermath has been catastrophic, with essential resources like education, agriculture, and livelihoods wiped out in a flash. Access to clean and fresh water has become a luxury beyond reach, resulting in poor health.
This is a sub-center, and we have no doctors and no nurses. Basic medical services for the hundreds of villagers residing on the island are missing. We urgently need primary medical facilities.
Other than healthcare issues and natural disasters, the jungle has claimed countless lives, leaving behind shattered families and a trail of tears.
My name is Rita Mandel. We were a family of 4, a boy, girl, and we parents, husband to wife. My husband's name is Chinmay Mandel. He went to the river to catch lobsters, and a tiger attacked him and dragged him back to the jungle. I work in the paddy field. When there is no work left here, I travel to distant cities for work. The majority of the people in Sundarbans are dependent on the forest. Fishing, catching lobsters, Indian gooseberry collection, and honey collection is the primary occupation of the villagers. There are several tiger widows like me, both men and women, whose partners are eaten up by the wild Royal Bengal tigers. When I lost my husband, my son was only 6 or 7 years old, and my daughter was 8 years old.
While exploring the many adversities of the locals, the PayBito team reached a local school in Sundarbans sponsored by Champa Mahila Samiti.
Hi, my name is Swapan Mandel. With the help of Champa Mahila Samiti and America's Asha for Education, the school started in 2004. During the time, there was no school present here within a 3 to 4 kilometers radius. Before 2004, the children in the village used to roam around all day. They couldn't go to school as it was far from their village. The majority of the children in the villages used to catch lobsters on the river banks, and sometimes they would play around. After evaluating the situation, we informed Amal Nayak, the founder of Champa Mahila Samiti. In this village, the children in the village are separated from the education system, and we discussed how to improve the matter. We started the education center with his help. The majority of the children come from families who are mostly farmers, fishermen, lobster catchers, or honey collectors. These children were indulged in the family occupation which stopped them from studying. Getting these children educated was our primary goal. There are no facilities provided by the government in the school. With the number of girls studying in school, The toilet is a major issue. We need more toilets for the students. We have 2 toilets and it's not sufficient. We have over 198 girls in the school.
The villagers can only consult local medical practitioners. Our team visited one such local doctor in the Gosaba block, Sundarbans.
My name is Pavito. I have studied in the cities, and I have returned to the village to help my people get proper treatment. The main problem people face in the village is the lack of proper treatment facilities. In terms of healthcare, Sundarban villagers are lagging behind in several ways. In case of emergency, the villagers cannot immediately get help, nor can they travel to the cities. In such cases, we local practitioners are trying to help the villagers in terms of emergencies, but the lack of facilities forces us to shift them to nearby hospitals. There is no nearest bridge to cross the river. We have to wait for the water to rise up during low tides. There have been times when there is a medical emergency, but I don't have the immediate medicines to help them. The nearest medical store is far and requires crossing the block. These patients might die on their way.
The Sundarbans are home to some of the poorest and most vulnerable communities, where access to healthcare is severely limited, leading to hunger, malnutrition, and related diseases among children.
You see, the problem of world hunger is a major problem, which we tend to underestimate, especially in the developed countries, because we think internet is the only problem. We are not getting connectivity, or our phones are not working. But there are remote parts of the world that we are unaware of, where hunger is a huge crisis. Today, for example, we are here in Sundarbans. This is a remote corner of a state called West Bengal in India, where there are kids that are truly in need. We have spoken with their families today. We have spoken with their relatives today. We have looked at, how they go through each and every day of their lives. We have talked with tiger victims, people whose one of their family members are missing because they went out to do their daily business but was taken by the wild, Royal Bengal tiger. We have looked at sewerage problems. These people do not have running water. They do not have places where we as people in developed countries think of normal amenities. These are missing for these kids. Not only that, you would see things that we think of as inconveniences, in our lives, they would happily think of that as the most valuable thing in their lives. When we go from places to places, we drive cars. Even if it's a 2-mile distance, we'll probably drive our cars out. There are kids and their families here that are walking 12 miles on a daily basis just to get drinking water. That's the level of crisis that these places are facing. And unfortunately, these are remote corners that has been forgotten by nonprofits. These are corners of the world that has been forgotten by governments. These are places that are forgotten by world aid. And these are the places that we, the PayBito crypto broker team, working on this movement, aims to reach today. It's not about today. It's a sustainable development that we would carry on for a period of time, because without sustainability, no help is real help. Today, if you give a homeless guy a couple of dollars, okay, he will get his next meal, but that doesn't solve his problem. So we have to think of sustainable ways that solves people's problems, where we can create local economies that would create value and products that they would be able to sell in the greater marketplace. So the question is, what is our commitment to sustainability? PayBito and the PayBito team has always believed in sustainable movement. We, the PayBito team, wants to create fundamental change, and that's what we are here for today.
PayBito's mission to end global hunger in the villages of Sundarbans, India, was an eye-opener as they confronted the harsh realities faced by the locals. The malnourished, hungry, and poor children of Sundarbans are struggling to survive in dire conditions. They lack access to basic necessities such as nutritious meals, clean water, and proper hygiene facilities. They are at risk of developing chronic diseases and health problems, which may impact their future prospects.
I am an English teacher by profession at Basanti High Secondary School. Sundarbans are an important part of India and the world. Around 5 million people live here.
However, living here was not possible as the area is surrounded by dense mangrove forests and rivers.
There are more than 135 islands. While humans are residing in 35 of these islands, the other 100 islands house wild endangered animals. On one side, wild animals such as the world-famous Royal Bengal tiger resides in the jungles, meat-eating crocodiles have taken over the waters, and deadly poisonous snakes are residing in the land. The people of Sundarbans are fighting the tigers in the forests, crocodiles and sharks in the water, and the poisonous snakes in the villages to survive. Poverty is a constant mate for the people. A part of the population enters the core areas of the forest for fishing, catching lobsters, or collecting honey. Sometimes they need to fight the tigers, and come back alive, while other times the tiger drags them back into the jungle and eats them. Sometimes other men manage to get back the dead bodies. There are tiger widows in the village whose children face dire poverty and are detached from education. These widows have deep sorrow as they struggle for food and clothes. Mosquito nets are a necessity for the tiger widows and the villagers. The forest area has mosquito problems and snake attacks. The mosquito nets protect them at night. Food scarcity is a common problem. The tiger widows and many women in the village are victims of sex trafficking. Another major problem for Sundarbans is that the teachers who come here from the cities cannot survive here, and are transferring back to the cities. This has a huge effect on the schools and is detached from quality education. It is a major problem for the children of Sundarbans. The wild animals of the Sundarbans must also be protected. If the villagers are invading the forests where tigers reside, they will naturally attack. It is important to learn the way to survive in the Sundarbans without harming the wild animals and oneself and promote the historical Delta Islands. We must provide training and techniques to honey collectors and fishermen on how to save themselves from tiger attacks. We have trained these men to survive during their day-to-day activities. If one man stands with a stick while others work, then the time tiger arrives from the jungle. If a man looks at the tiger, he will not attack but rather take a step back. We must take this training at large to help the villagers. These problems are persisting in Sundarbans. I loved how your team has chosen Sundarbans to showcase your love and arrived here. These poor people who have no voice of their own, the hundreds of malnutrition hungry children who were provided with clothes, fruits, and nutritious meals by PayBito are blessed. These children are the future of tomorrow, and that PayBito has chosen these kids is huge. There is a saying, those who served others, served the Lord himself.
The harsh realities of poverty and limited access to education are leaving behind young children of the region, and robbing them of the chance to dream of a better future. PayBito aims to create sustainable solutions that meet immediate needs and foster long-term growth and prosperity for the community. Ending world hunger is not just a dream, it's an achievable goal, and PayBito is committed to making it a reality. Join the movement to fight against global hunger and help us change the lives of these children for the better. To learn more about the PayBito crypto broker platform, visit paybito.com/cryptobroker white label platform.